Yes, I think we're all very much looking forward to this series here, especially to see what Sonika brings to the table against the incredibly strong FoCuS right now.
That is 100% correct. I am very excited about this one, especially what Sonik is able to play, because he has a very different style than probably everyone else. So yeah, bring that device style to Night Elf vs. Orc.
Yeah, and Echo Isles. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've watched a game on Echo Isles. It's definitely one of my least favorite maps. I do think. Well, it's kind of a map with fairly limited options, I would say. However, the V2 is obviously considerably better than the original. That much goes without saying. But it's not one of my picks, to be honest. But it has produced, of course, some classics over the years at the pro level, and yet. FoCuS damaging his Great Hall slightly there to abuse the repair trick against the creeps that Sonik will be trying to creep to lure them away, slow down the progress of the Demon Hunter a little bit, and setting up shop nice and close to his first camp so he can very efficiently take that, buy items, and probably move towards the marketplace direction if I had to guess.
Alright then. FoCuS in tremendous shape from Sonik. We've seen a lot of games, but not the deepest tournament dives recently. Also eliminate earlier for both players. It is a long day. Sonik busy in the 2-on-2 department, and FoCuS was busy in TP League already. So I hope both are able to play their best.
Yeah, I imagine it's not been too exhausting a day so far for them. But we'll see how long of a series they have to play between each other here today. Obviously, we hope for a nice, long, and competitive series between the two.
100%. Sonik doing Sonic things, buying a circlet, buying the dust, probably away from the Blade Master here, and that's his style. Pick the Demon Hunter, rush into the enemy's base, and wreak havoc.
Yeah, can't say we're surprised. Both players getting a Ring of Protection +4 from their initial camps, which is a new change, of course, to the item pools in this game. And doesn't this give shades of Sonik versus Cash on Turtle Rock all that time ago? Whoa, speed scroll with the peon there, saving it into the burrow. What a beautiful move. Would have been insane if FoCuS could have also used another peon to block that entrance there next to the altar, but far too much to do at the same time. In any case, a pretty good result for him, not losing any of his workers.
Exactly, but Sonik is also not investing too much, just time for creeping. That also takes away time for the Blade Master to creep. And Sonik is indeed starting to wall off his base, going into Talons as you prophesized.
I mean, I don't think Quberte Stradamus works out too well, unfortunately. A bit too many letters, too many consonants in that name right there. But yeah, definitely, I mean, especially if we saw another Moonwell being constructed right now, I would imagine that this is Talons. Yep, there we go. 4th Moonwell. Pretty much Talons almost guaranteed here. Only a single archer out as well.
You don't have a lot of expenses early on. Oh, FoCuS saving a peon into a shop, waking up the creeps. And Snare killed that archer.
Wow.
There was 2 presses of a button with big impact.
Honestly, FoCuS, like, just managing the really small details of this game, like, incredibly well so far. Managing to not lose this peon in the base initially, and now managing to bait that archer into being killed and not losing his own worker is pretty astounding.
Yeah, I agree with that. Remo can rave about Lyn all he wants, but I think Sonik FoCuS these days has the best matchup of Orc vs Night Elf, at least at times. And Sonik going classic Beastmaster into Harass, but FoCuS is pretty ready for that.
Yep, pretty much already prepared. Interesting to see, of course, Sonik go for the incredibly classic that's been around for like 15 years style of Beastmaster second, 1 archer tech into double wins Talons. But Orcs often electing to go for like Shamans or Shadowhunter instead of the old TC Walker that used to be the prescribed counter in the past. Curious to see how the Shadow and the Spirit Lodge play will play out here as opposed to the old meta. And of course we all know what to expect from Sonik here. I would say though his tier 3 is unbelievably late though, for this style. Building both wins before teching, I'm not sure is the best choice there. But yeah, I've got to get a Spirit Launch cancelled pretty easily.
Yeah, and that means that this ball is going to be delayed. He's focusing on the blade. There is Windwall, but there's also Reveal. This is now really weird. Hex!
Yep, Hex first!
No! Demon Hunter dies and the blade survives. Oh, unfortunate situations. Doesn't value the double ring on the Blade Master enough. That, my friends, is 13 armor. Wow. And it's really damn powerful.
Yeah, we see the armor stacking blade here kind of being immortal, not really being, like, not really dying, to be honest, despite being focused by everything. And yeah, whenever a Shadowhunter pops out, even if Hex isn't the optimal skill, it's very common for even, as we see, pro players to just take Hex if they see an opportunity for a hero kill. And that was the end of the Demon Hunter, unfortunately. Still level 1 in this match so far.
Exactly.
Level 2 now, thanks to that peon.
Here we go. Yeah, I've seen a lot of hero kills in this matchup in the past week. Hitman killed Dice's heroes 10 times on one map.
Was that the concealed game?
That was one of the games I casted between them. I have no idea which map it was, but yeah, despite all the rings, heroes tend to die quite a bit these days.
Yeah, I mean, they are just the backbone of any army, and I think pros are just the best at just seeing an opportunity to take a hero out and just go for it.
But they're also the best at saving their heroes, so shouldn't that even out?
It should even out, but I guess sometimes, you know, one player just does it slightly better than the other, and sometimes heroes can get focused really quickly and die out of nowhere, so yeah, it's kind of harder to be the one trying to save your heroes, I think.
Sometimes
Berserker
it is.
purchased here just to assist FoCuS in the creeping of a kind of an awkward camp, but a necessary one for sure. Setting up the 4th burrow here at the expo spot, kind of slightly alluding to the fact that there may be an expo at some point from the ORC side. And in the meantime, Sonik still not tier 3 yet. This, as I pointed out, was quite a late tech by him, opting to go for both wins before tech. I think is not normally the done thing when trying to rush Master Talons. Kind of like with Bears, how you would go lower, tech lower. The same concept, I think, applies. Perhaps I'm wrong. But yeah, doing the best he can. Obviously, very limited forces the Night Elf at this point in the game. But Shadow, not quite as effective, I think, as the TC in combat, so perhaps a more hit and run game from FoCuS might be incoming. We will see.
Yeah, the expansion is obviously his win condition. He's catching the Tinker. Blade Master FoCuS once again. Lightning Shield applied. Oh, poor Tinker. He had such a great time at the tavern. And now this happens. Lightning Shield again. Town Portal away. So much time for FoCuS's second base. And, needs to be said, shop control as well.
Wisp unfortunately dying to the Lightning Shield that was on the Beastmaster there. Just a small detail. And yeah, even though Sonik, of course, knows exactly what FoCuS is, can't really do much right now, has to just let him take this important creep camp. Gonna get 3-3 and access to the first important heal scroll and info potion. Surely he's going to buy the heal scroll.
A player's forces are
okay, the heal scroll's being left in, so
he's short on resource right now. Could have waited, could have sold something.
Yeah, maybe one ring? I don't know. But actually both heal scrolls are available, so perhaps, I mean, I don't think Sonik is going to buy 2, so perhaps FoCuS is relying on getting 1 later down the line. I guess it's not overly essential right now, but it is Echo Isles, and we all know what that means. Shop control is paramount.
B2W shop in the chat, everybody, if you're a subscriber to this channel. We have...
Which you should be.
What?
Which you should be.
Of course. Yeah, so I can eat and heat and put on lights and pay the bills.
Precisely. We're funding Neo's life, guys, okay? You're not gonna leave him in the lurch.
You seriously, yeah.
Are we?
You seriously are.
Alright. Sonik getting that level 3 Demon Hunter online finally, hopefully for level 2 mana burn. And yep, the Tree of Life being planted, I think, is pretty much all he can do as ORC on 2 bases here. Will soon become kind of unmanageable in the later stages. I love the Raiders being split off to the top here to take care of this moon, like the Moonwells. Actually gonna get 2 Moonwells, are you kidding me? But just this run by, maybe like 1 raider dies here, maybe 2, not even 2.
And you know what, Quberte? I don't know.
Yeah.
It took orcs 21 years, but they are researching pillage before they attack. So not only are the moon worlds gone, but it's only that's also a lot of gold. Orcs are getting smarter, orcs are getting better, and orcs are going deeper in tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the orc brain is a small one, so it takes a while to come online, to think things through and develop new techniques. But in the end, when they break through and get there, man, they are a force to be reckoned with.
100%. But now, Sonik is catching some of these raiders, not using too much Cyclone, saves it for the fight, which is coming in now, and he needs to hold this tree.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy hold for Sonik, though. There's definitely no way that FoCuS can take an engagement. He's pretty much just trying to stay on 50 as long as he can and buy a little bit of space. I think he probably could have sent the raiders maybe back to the elf base again, instead of walking towards this expo that he couldn't cancel. Because now he's going to have to defend. But thankfully, there are 3 fortified towers and a burrow. And I'm not sure Sonik is going to be able to break through this whatsoever. Probably just has to fall back and creep.
Some would say it's too much.
Yep, some would say. I can't. It's too much.
Some would quit over it as well.
Yep. Some talons might be getting licked.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Maybe that's...
Towers.
I asked ChatGPT yesterday what to do as a Night Elf against towers, and it said Cyclone and Entangle.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. They're both very effective against towers.
100%, yeah.
Maybe instead of Cyclone they meant to say Tornado? I don't know. Get level 6 Naga?
That is also not really in the plan here.
No, not in this game, unfortunately. But yeah, it's kind of awkward for Sonik right now. He's gonna get some creeps. He's staying on 50 himself. Gonna break probably pretty soon. But then, are just mass talons gonna cut it against Orc? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, there seems to be a development of trying to switch into bears.
Yeah.
But since we don't have a Hunch Soul and no lore, this would take several minutes, and he don't have that time.
Yeah, I think kind of another mistake by Sonik here is when he was 50 food with Talons, 2 bases, he should have set down a Hunter's Hall as soon as he had the resources. I feel like Ultravision is nice and it's cheap, but also Wellspring is just such an amazing late game upgrade. I feel like every elf that knows the race feels it's quite essential to have. And of course it gives you that option to go down a different tech path. Maybe MGs for some fun.
It's clobbering time, yeah. MGs would help against towers.
Geez.
We have a retrain. Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking this open position for the Talons was not looking too good. You need to find a nice choke, but I think the Stinker is just gone. Look at all the webs, all the ensnares, keeping him locked down. One more? Nice, nicely timed, just to keep him completely immobilized for the full duration until his untimely death. And yet the Talons here in the somewhat open field, but actually FoCuS just going for pure hero focus almost. But now the Raider's going to get that concave on the Talons. Demon Hunter just goes down and wow, Sonik just leaves.
FoCuS working his Orc versus Night Elf magic once again, looking fine. The head scratch, the classic, the signature move. It's all there, it's all coming together, as well as the 1-0 for FoCuS.
Yeah, nice match by FoCuS, to be honest. I think he, as I was pointing out in the early game, just played so well around all the small details. I wouldn't say that they propelled him massively far ahead, but every move is important, and those moves were sweet, regardless.
Yeah, he just does so many things so right, and in the barely any flaws in this game. It's pretty incredible. So we move on to map number 2 after seeing the FoCuS celebration there, waiting for Sonik to give us the go. And then we kick things off. Map number 2, Twisted Meadows. And that could be a very, very different game as it's so big and so many opportunities here.
Yeah, and I think we will not be seeing wins this time. on Twisted. I'd be pretty surprised to see something different. I would be kind of interested to see Sonic play completely different and go for a sort of divide push, maybe with like a lot of archers, Naga, proxy shop near the Orc base. So we can kind of prevent the Orc from getting to this like sort of scenario where they have a fortified base that you can't do anything about. But we will see.
Yeah, I'm really not that sure how Night Elf players, or how Night Elf players play this year. Is it Mass Dryads? Is it Hunt Tower all in? There is plenty of options for the two. So yeah, show us the way, Sonic. Show us the way, FoCuS. We move on to map. Wrong button alert. Map number 2.
There we are. And I think we're going to see the classic creeping here. Yep, look at that barracks positioning from FoCuS. If you're not aware, you're able to drag the laboratory camp with the grunt, block in the golem with the blade master using windwalk, and trap it between the barracks and your units and the tree line. And 1 or 2 peons are loaded into the burrow to help you focus that creep down quickly and get a sweet item. And in the past, when Tome of Experience used to exist, sometimes you had a level 2 hero straight off the bat with like a Boots of Quel'Thalas on your PM and stuff.
That was obviously bad and wrong, and should
those were the days.
Never find its way into the meta ever again. But yeah, glad it's gone.
No, of course, that was absurdly broken back in the day. It was like winning the lottery, pretty much. But in any case, we have a keeper this time, Neo.
Ooh, Sonic? I almost expected this. He played this back in the day when he was at the top European level. Quite a bit. It's old school, it's working out, and it's a lot of pressure. So FoCuS, will you scout for the APs and the hunts?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Sonic will do, because, as I said earlier, I don't really feel like he's the sort of mass hunts, Alchemist second, you know, tier 2 stuff, you know, like all the tier 1 mass with the upgrades type player. So perhaps it will be some sort of cheese or all in. And let's see if FoCuS is able to pull off this pull. It's not going... Oh no, the grunt gets webbed, and he fails the... Wait. Okay, so the golem, I think, is not going to leave as long as FoCuS doesn't touch the blade and move it, or attack the golem with anything. He's pulled off this bug, but it was very lucky, as this is not normally how this creep is supposed to go. But it works out.
Yeah, I think, like, the rock golem kind of gets stuck because of windwalk and the collision. And this is even better because it's not attacking. Only the little trapper is attacking, and that is the Robe of the Magi right away. And good experience.
The only real disadvantage with this is that the burrow couldn't help to creep it faster. But in the end, I think that didn't matter too much. Also, this is the classic Sonic in this matchup. Creep one camp, come over with Entangle, and try to go for the peon snipe. But bear in mind... Oh, wait.
So ready. He was so ready.
He bugged him in the base! He managed to bug him in the base! Oh my lord, are you kidding me right now?
That
One
is...
peon does go down, but like, you're losing your TP this early on. Maybe for 2 peon kills, but I think he's not going to get that one. Oh, just manages to get the entangle in time before the peon gets into the burrow. Whoa, keep it on the fire there, though.
Oof!
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it's time for the expo in the north. It was 2 peasants. It's not for nothing. But it's also really not that good.
Wow, another creep pool being used on Twisted Meadows here. You can see how abusable the map is, to be honest. It's kind of crazy. Because this creep camp doesn't have Ensnare. Therefore, it can be pulled during the night without any consequence. And there we are. Troll Priest, Berserker, and now the Rock Golem doesn't throw any boulders. So nice and easy creep with the blade. Keeper trying to come in once again, does have the Staff of Teleportation to maybe get out of a sticky situation. Kind of bad items for FoCuS there with the Scroll of the Beast and the Mantle of Intelligence. but it's valuable, valuable experience in that Blade Master.
Exactly. Yeah, Scroll the Beast could be fine as well, and the Shadow Priest against Entangle, against... you will need that, because there's more. Sonik is not stopping. Well, I got stopped the first time, let's just try it again. And this time he even brought a Telestaff.
Yeah, this may actually be 4 peons going down in the early game, which is kind of insane. And the peon block ahead of time is nice, but unfortunately for FoCuS, Sonik did think ahead and bought a staff, and so he just teleports on out. But FoCuS kind of crippled economically. Actually sells the Scroll of the Beast here, which is to be relatively expected, and peons will have to be remade, as he can only afford 1 tier 2 building in the second hero right now.
Okay, it is Mass Hunts. Expo has to waddle over. Sonik, it's so funny to me that after portaling into the north with his Expo up, he decides, let's not creep this expansion and get more gold, but let's just rush across the biggest map that we have in the one-on-one pool and just harass the peasants again.
Well, yeah, I don't know what was more optimal, to be honest, but in the end, I think Sonik has bought adequate space to get his expansion prepped and placed down, and he did manage to get 2 additional workers with that attack. And right now, FoCuS doesn't really know where Sonik is. I guess it's not the most predictable spot to be at in the world. And there's nothing to be found in the main base either, so I guess FoCuS is just going to do the classic, well, I can't find you, so I'm in your base, I'm just going to attack your stuff, I guess.
Yeah, Wisps are pretty fragile, both detonate, Sonik doesn't care. By the way, thank you Howard Rakete and Wicked for the subs, FVB and Tower Taker for the raids, much appreciated. So 2 Wisps for a lot of map presence, alright, Shadowhunter creeping, and we go Beastmaster again.
Honestly, pretty odd choice,
Yeah.
I think. I think it's not bad. I'm not sure what I've chosen instead, perhaps Demon
You think
Hunter?
it's not bad? Well, he goes Bear. But there's
I think is
Shaman
fine.
coming. Yeah, Bear is definitely the finest.
I think Bear is okay. It's pretty strong. It's very fast. Have you noticed how quick it is when it moves around? It's got, like... It's very fast. It's, like, not as quick as a Huntress, I think, but maybe it is the same speed. They're zooming around. But, yeah, the only thing is with Beastmaster, he doesn't really have scaling at all, to be honest. I feel like Sonik is preparing for, like a later game sort of thing, maybe getting up to low upkeep and stuff. I feel like a Demon Hunter would have been nice.
Yeah, down the road, for sure. But yeah, maybe the Cocaine Bear ravaging later. We'll see about that.
Yeah, true. The Rabies Bear is really strong and very hard to get rid of, but requiring like technically 3 purges to get rid of, which is insane. It has 900 HP. Yeah. It's not really done much for now, though. To be honest, this Beastmaster pick, it's sort of okay. You know, you're just creeping with it, using the summons to help, but you don't really need the summons. Maybe Pitlord or something. I don't know. Pitlord or Demon Hunter, I think, would have been cooler. In any case, FoCuS creeping up that Shadowhunter nicely. He is super stacked. He's a very smart boy. 20, well now 31 intelligence on that bad boy at level 3. A lot of mana to play with. And yeah, Sonik kind of struggling to get levels right now.
It's interesting to me that FoCuS
all the items. Oh, he stole the big mana. No.
Oh, and that on top of that Shadowhunter. Oh my god.
That's ridiculous.
FoCuS having a grand time. And here comes the Shadowhunter. Uh-oh, Serpent Wards 2 against Hunts. This is not that great at all.
Yeah, plus FoCuS also stole the Berserker. I think. No, that's not true. He did steal the Berserker, but in any case, has a pretty adequate army to take on this force of Sonik right now. But saying that, units were a little bit bruised. Blade isn't incredibly strong, does pass his mana over to the Shadow, so we're going to see a lot of healing and a lot of wards. And those level 2 wards, as we know, are incredible against Huntresses.
Yeah, and you try to transition into archers, but then there's a Blade Master critting them and grunts connecting. Speed scroll used as well. There's no disable. There's not enough damage here for Sonik. The Berserker goes down in the backline, level 4, and this is where the big red numbers come into play.
Good lord, 2 Berserkers going down for Sonik right there. He actually bought the mercs from FoCuS's merc camp, including this Ogre Mauler right here, which is doing quite a fine job, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh no, the blade! The blade! What did he do? He did it. I don't know if the Windwalker's on cooldown, but I feel like he could have started moving away sooner.
A little bit, yeah. Also with that Raider, I think the rally point was still there. All of a sudden, Sonik has a huge lead.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa, indeed.
And now he wants to buy back, and it's like, he should be safe, but there's some risk again of being killed, but I think...
There's no entangle at the moment.
Wait, the Muddy. The Muddy for Sonik. Maybe you could slow down the Shadow Hunter or something and kill the Shadow. Or the Blade again.
He's trying.
Going for the Blade Master. Doesn't get the second slow off, which I think is pretty crucial there. Unfortunately, I think the autocast was on. Went onto that random Shaman. Instead, could have maybe used it on the Blade or just microed that Muddy a little bit better. But yeah, Sonik in a fine position right now.
Exactly. I did not expect this at all at the beginning of the fight, but man, we were doubting the bear. Never doubt the bear or the Quillbeast or Sonik in general. Expo is up, but he realizes, he knows there's no fortification, there's no towers, there's not even a burrow. And Sonic's Expo is running this entire time. Big advantage right now, but never underestimate FoCuS, he can definitely come back.
I mean, 4/4 heroes on the Orc side are definitely to be respected. The Shadow Hunter has 2 mana potions and 2 mana items, but this is a lot of Huntresses. We have more Treants coming in. We have the Ogre Mauler. I think Sonik is about to throw out the kitchen sink and all the other items at FoCuS right now to try and end this game before he gets outscaled.
Yeah, did Sonik sell the big mana? Did FoCuS sell the big mana to get 2 small mana?
No, it was used during the fight.
Ah, okay.
That Shadow Hunter blew through like 700 mana in that fight. It was kind of crazy how much mana he went through. And now another 2 mana pots to try and survive this fight, which, in fairness, the Orc heroes do have a, you know, they are strong. Perhaps you could see a little bit of a comeback here by FoCuS, but it's a lot of health.
It is. Can we get a lot of snakes? They're definitely needed. Beastmaster and some hunts not part of that fight. FoCuS's army though, kinda ridiculously small. Huntress taking some damage. Heal scroll on cooldown for 16 seconds. Swaps it now and can heal. Oh, all these hunts up, but he's not using the heal scroll. Now he does to save the northern hunts. Kodo has eaten the Ogre Mauler. That's big value right here in the Blade.
Fire.
Saved by the heal wave.
Also, the Keeper is getting focused now. The Keeper! And he's going down.
Oh no!
And now there's no way to get the Blade, who just walks away and gets healed back up again. Sonik, I think, his mantra of going full Divide coming to bite him back.
Oh no, this is bad now. Saved? FoCuS saved by mana potions. What a swing in total value. 100 seconds on the Keeper, no TP, no invuln there anymore. And now we have an even-ish game, but with worse tech for Sonik. Yeah,
I think Sonic's fate is now kind of sealed after that engagement. We've got 5 Orc heroes just on the horizon. FoCuS is on 2 bases, albeit, yes, there are only 2 workers currently mining. He will manage to fully saturate that pretty soon and stay on 50 food for a little bit, which is really nice. Meanwhile, Sonik has been low upkeep this entire time apart from he dips slightly below. Trying to set up another base, which I feel pretty much just a desperation play. At this point, he will have to buy a lot of space for that base to come up or get some value before it gets destroyed. And I don't think FoCuS really cares too much. Rebuys TP, I feel like he might just go on a little bit of a creeping spree and then attack. And he's going to have 5 heroes for this next engagement here.
Yeah, and that is Crit 3, Vamp Aura on top, Serpent Ward 3. The damage is just getting out of control.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, Tome of Agility. Not going to be picked up by the Blade, unfortunately. But yeah, and this 15 armor Blade, as we see a new meta of rings everywhere, giving a ton of effective HP, especially to Agility heroes, who are, of course, incredibly strong when made more resilient and able to just constantly do their right-click DPS.
Oh no! That Keeper! Under the net! Under the knife soon! Needs a bit of mana, had to save himself with that 1 entangle he had left. No tier 3 of course, so no orb to increase damage.
Neo,
And a
you see these
weird
level 3
position.
wards right now.
Yep. I see them in a very good position.
The level 3 wards dealing an average 50 damage. Not even thinking about the damage bonuses against Huntresses, but it's absolutely absurd. And yeah, I think unfortunately Sonik is about to get absolutely dominated by FoCuS here with a vastly superior army in hero levels. And yeah, it looked good for him, but just an overextension near FoCuS's face, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the heroes don't scale too well. This is FoCuS with the 2nd win in a row. He was struggling quite a bit there, not gonna lie. The fight in the middle around the tavern, this was Sonik at its finest. But FoCuS, man, he's just too experienced. He's too skilled. He won't allow a map to lose here.
Yeah, I think also he knew that if he survived this push from Sonik, and he came out of it with some good hero experience, some levels, what can the Huntresses really do? Because when you have, say, archers, like is normally paired with Alchemist and Huntresses, you can focus fire the Serpent wards down and try and keep your frontline preserved. This Beastmaster honestly brought nothing to the table, I would say, except feeding experience and costing some mana on the Shaman. If it was an Alchemist, you'd have had some healing at least for the front line to keep them going as long as possible. Really strong right clicks and the Acid Bomb. But even then, I think just FoCuS held on until he outscaled the Huntresses.
He knows his win conditions, man. And he also knew, I don't need any fortification. People are crying about cement towers. Well, I take their reason to cry away. And now he has 3 match points in a row. And that doesn't feel too good, does it? Another thing that doesn't feel too good is that the next map is the Orc map. It's Northern Isles.
Yeah, I feel like this map is just super solid for creeping the Shadow Hunter to level 3 as quickly as possible. Your Expo is pretty close to your base. It's easy to set up buildings in between your bases, as Elf likes to do as well. So it's generally easy to reinforce and defend yourself. And the opening creep routes, I think, are pretty sweet for Blade. It's easy to get level 2 and some decent items. And Sonik actually going to go for the Tuskar here. So I'm expecting either Warden or Demon Hunter.
Oh. Okay. Warden would be fun. Rarely to see her succeed in this matchup, but okay. Demon Hunter, it is the standard, it is.
Yeah, I was really... because Sonik does love the Warden, and he's down 0-2, and probably can't win Northern Isles, and I thought maybe he's going to try and power creep a Warden level 3 or something for fun. But yep. Demon Hunter, the superior power creeper in today's meta for sure. And yeah, I like FoCuS's building position again. The Orcs definitely take note of not placing your Voodoo Lounge in your base. Always, this is super nice for tempo, being able to creep up, buy items and sell TP, move on to the second camp, all without having to return to your base to collect items and moving out onto the map.
Alright, Sonik, you grinded a lot of games, you had a good rank in the ladder, but FoCuS is a different beast, especially in this matchup. While we're in the early game, I thank Zendorian for the 3-month resub, Buttcrumbs for gifting a sub to FoCuS Pocus, Sinalco, thank you guys for the sub, much appreciated.
Let's see, Potion of Invulnerability, probably the second best item, the best item being, of course, Big Healing is an insane item for the early game trading. Not using Immolation here on the first camp, interestingly enough, not creeping it the fastest as a result. And the Blade taking Critical Strike first and gonna go for that level 2 creeper as I mentioned, and the small Murlocs.
Alrighty, let's see how this goes then. What kind of item do we have? Big Invo Potion. Yeah, for Sonik style is wait, this is Demon Hunter Hunts.
Yes.
I'm confused.
Players'
Cube?
forces are under attack.
Well, don't look at me, bro.
Well, you're so handsome, how could I not?
But yeah, okay. Is this gonna be a tier 1 all-in? That would be pretty weird with the Demon Hunter for sure. But Sonik isn't spending his resources on, say, a second Ancient of War, or a Tree of Life, or a tech yet. Here comes the tech. But he's missing so many wisps. Because normally you would have 21 supply with the archer to have 9 wisps. He was 20, and he spent all that time building a hunter, so he could have easily fit 1 to 2 more wisps if needed, maybe 10 in total. So we're missing a couple, and now FoCuS is coming with the level 2 really good items as well. Oh, crit on the wisp.
Lucky FoCuS. This is kind of a Sonic old school. Oh, that's the second one. And no. He did play this back in like Jera Cup days 2014-ish. Hunter's opening probably just feels more comfortable with it. I don't see this being more... Yeah, that is another problem here.
They don't... The problem is they don't do anything, in my opinion. They don't really help you. I like the wisp movement there around the moonwell a little bit. That was cool. But I think this is a dead archer nonetheless. Goodbye. And Blade did sacrifice his entire mana pool, but pretty worth it, honestly. Grunt's still kicking about, but can't really do much. He just gives a 1 cheeky slap to that moonwell and makes his way back home.
Yeah. Okay, Sonic, surprise us. He surprised us on Twisted with a fight in the middle. He'll have a plan. And I don't dare to make any predictions about this, but we'll see.
I'm going to say, given the resources, because, I mean, Sonic is only about 45, 50 seconds off of finishing tech, and his gold is looking kind of bad, and the lumber won't be fantastic either. Maybe it's going to be solo DH double lures. Something weird like that. In the meantime, FoCuS is playing double beastery.
Ooh.
Which, if it is double lures, then double beastery is the perfect counter. As you don't really care for any walkers or shamans, especially when there's no keeper.
Yeah, Raiders just annihilate Dryads, huh? I guess
really
that's what we get.
And there we see Circlet of Nobility once again dropping from where it never used to drop, which is going to be really hard to get used to.
It's alright. We are getting old, we don't have the best memory. This will be very normal to us in just a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm 26, but I think my age really is a 62, I guess. getting early onset.
Well, to be fair, with 26, you're on the younger 10% of this scene.
That is definitely true. We're getting upgraded Moonglaves instead of a tech building or a second... Well, the second hero is here, but no tech building, no expo yet. Just upgraded Moonglaive bounce.
Yeah, and you know what these...
bad upgrade.
Yeah, and you know what these don't hit? Wyvern. And Wyvern are coming. And so is the Blade. And so is the Shadow Hunter with a good old Tom timing. Hex and Blade. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yep, we saw that in Echo Isles when the Shadow Hunter popped out of the altar and just immediately hexing that Demon Hunter. But yep, I think FoCuS feels like Sonic was trying to set up a second base. Just isn't going to let that happen. But it does cost him the opportunity to creep. And a level 1 Shadow is pretty weak overall and desperately needs level 3. Meanwhile, the Beastmaster is creeping up, but you know, I think maybe Sonic is over-reliant on the Beastmaster a little bit. He doesn't bring an insane amount to the table, in my honest opinion. However, Quill Beasts will be good against the Wind Riders, especially in level 2.
They look absolutely gorgeous here on winter maps. That's something they bring to the table.
The Winter Piggies.
The Winter Piggies, indeed.
Winter Piggies, Winter Hawks, and Winter Bears. They are cute, to be fair.
Wyvern, not so cute, but very efficient.
Very vicious indeed. I mean, the damage isn't even bad, to be honest, from the level 1 Quill Beast. The level 2 Quill Beast is insane against Wind Riders. It's like really, really, really strong.
Yeah, but if Sonic's plan was to AP push, losing these wisps is less than ideal.
I kind of love how Sonic just plays however he wants. Like, this is so bizarre.
Yeah.
But FoCuS, like, his levels are kind of bad. He doesn't have, like, insane items or anything like that, and he has a level disadvantage. And his tower's, like, gonna be coming up, like, in the base. Where are the Wind Riders? There they are. Flying back in. Oh, cancelled just in time. But yeah, the Huntresses, though, probably gonna get 2 volleyed by all these Wind Riders.
Yep! Shadow Hunter's also safe with a potion. You got a speed scroll. Uh-oh. Can he reach? Can he reach? There's a little bit of mana.
Oh,
Chakram. Run!
Last chakra?
Oh.
Well, sad times for the Beastmaster. The Quill Beast did in the meantime manage to pick off a single Wind Rider. One is kind of damaged. The Demon Hunter is standing strong, but can he do much by himself? Currently just tackling the Voodoo Lunge right now.
Yeah, this will take some time if this is a base race now. Okay, some damage done. Sonic probably doing better again than most of us thought. But there's just nothing behind this. He's just AP pushing now.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying, Sonic is just 100% all in here. There's no fallback to strategy. There's no lures.
I think Sonic is 100% all in whatever he does. Like going to the grocery store, getting the butter from the fridge. That's just his lifestyle.
Well, I can only imagine living with him must be a very interesting experience. I'm sure he's a very fun guy. And I feel like there's a little opportunity to maybe surround the blades or surround the shadow. Like, FoCuS is being really greedy with his heroes, but in the end, the Wind Riders just swoop back in. Might lose one here, a little bit of miss micro, but I don't think it matters that much. Shadow should be saved in the base. We're going to see an unburrow here. Wait, he can't fit through that gap? No, he can. A little bit of bug in the pathing, but in the end, Shadow is saved.
With a sweet peon block, nonetheless. He's just diving onto these heroes. Maybe
he's
right.
He's gonna have to use a lot of peons, I think, to block.
Well, here comes the Wyvern, and they save the day. They're often getting cursed at flying XP tomes. They don't do anything, yada yada. But here, they save the heroes and the day.
Where is the Beastmaster?
Here he is.
He's just coming back in now. Oh, the Demon Hunter? Oh, just fed away, I guess.
Ay, ay, ay! FoCuS is having a good old laugh. He
Sure
enjoyed this series. Yeah. Spending time with Sonic, always fun. And yeah, that's how the first round of 16 ends. The favorite defeats the underdog.
A tale as old as time, I suppose. But yeah, FoCuS obviously played solidly. He managed to make a little adaptation here, going Wind Riders instead of something more standard. Worked out really well. Really strong at cancelling the APs, focusing all those hunts. We saw them get pretty much obliterated, to be honest, by Wind Riders. Maybe it was slightly dicey. They spent quite a lot of time in Sonic's base without coming home to defend, but I think they were brought back just at the right time. And in the end, wasn't much Sonic could do with his ground army.